I started to feel almost like the early onset of Braxton Hicks contractions. What's up, tribe, and welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for joining me again. If you are new here, then my name is Mariah, and in today's video we're going to be doing another bump date. This bump date is pretty much going to cover weeks 16 through 19. I did wait a little bit of a longer stretch of time this go around just because there wasn't really a whole lot of changes happening like exactly week to week, so I didn't really feel the need to like come on here and be like, okay, well, everything is pretty much the same as it was last week. So I'm here now to kind of catch you guys up on what's been going on as far as pregnancy has been concerned. I do have my iPad here, so if you see me looking down, it's just me looking at my notes, because I literally just took little notes of what was happening week to week, how my symptoms were kind of changing, really just so I wouldn't forget about anything. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so for week 16, I had round ligament pain, lots and lots of gas, constipation, unfortunately, and a complete loss of appetite. At that point, I still was not eating any meat products other than pretty much shrimp and salmon, and all of my aversions were still in full effect. Also in week 16, I started to feel almost like the early onset of Braxton Hicks contractions, or I say it's really like Braxton Hicks-like contractions. That was the sort of feeling, just with the amount of I guess pain kind of radiating throughout my vagina, which was like very strong. It was enough to kind of make me budge out of my seat. And it doesn't happen very frequently. There's no particular time of day or activity that I'm doing. As far as like my body is concerned, I'm usually sitting down or kind of lounging on the couch or in the bed. So I'm not really doing like a whole abundance of activity. But those were pretty much just another form of round ligament pain. It was explained to me that basically because of the nerves that are in your uterus, those connect all the way down into your vagina. So sometimes the round ligament pain that you're feeling, you can only seem to get that sensation in your vagina more so than your abdomen. So while it feels like I'm having vaginal contractions, I'm actually not, and it's literally just the nerve endings as far as I know. Symptoms for week 17 were constipation, constant backaches, still had the round ligament pain, still had my lack of appetite. But in week 17, I started to be able to tolerate the smell of meats again, like as long as everything is open in the house, as far as like the windows, and if a door is open to the outside and there's some ventilation and some fresh air kind of coming in, I can now tolerate the smell of meat. Whereas before it was just an automatic, like if I smelled meat, there was a 90% chance that vomiting may follow. Speaking of vomiting, I am no longer having exorcist style vomiting spells where it's just like projectile vomit, and also my nausea has thankfully finally kind of dissipated. I do still get nauseous, but thank goodness it is no longer that all day nausea that keeps me feeling completely miserable. So that has definitely been a major plus, because now I'm able to actually function and do things without constantly trying to fight nausea and fight to keep food down and all of those things that were going on for pretty much the first 16, almost 17 weeks. It was more so towards like the end of my 17th week. I think actually on the last day of my 17th week is when I woke up and was like, oh great, for once I'm not feeling nauseous all day long. And then for weeks 18 and 19, the main symptom that I have is a lack of appetite, which usually causes me some type of stomach pain or stomach discomfort, because to be completely honest, sometimes I do forget what time it is and I do forget that I need to go ahead and eat something, and I'm not necessarily used to that, because usually the inkling that you need to eat is that you're hungry. But because I have like zero appetite whatsoever, I have to be like way more conscious about, okay, it's this time in the morning, you woke up this time, you need to eat now. Oh, it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon, you need to eat again. Okay, now it's 3 o'clock, you need to eat again. And usually the indication is my stomach will start to hurt a lot, and that usually reminds me that, okay, you probably either haven't eaten enough, or 2 to 3 hours ish have gone by and you need to go ahead and eat again. Another thing that kind of has picked up more in the mornings for week 18 and week 19 is really just the nausea, and I think that's because I'm not eating abundance of food to necessarily keep me full. So I eat probably at the very latest 9 p.m. in the evening is the last time I eat, and depending on what time I wake up, I might not eat until around, I want to say like between 10 and 11 a.m. is usually what's typical for me. So the stomach pains do normally come just because of the amount of time that goes by, like over that 12-hour period with me not eating anything, and that's usually because I'm asleep and I'm not gonna set an alarm to wake myself up just to eat. But yeah, speaking of sleep, also my sleep has not been the greatest. Most days I do not wake up feeling rested, and that's really just because I'm very uncomfortable, so I'm typically tossing and turning back and forth. Also, not being able to really sleep on my back to some extent tends to cause sometimes a little bit of discomfort because I'm constantly sleeping on either my left side or my right side. I do have a pregnancy pillow that I got a few weeks ago. It's probably been more like a month now, and the one I got, I will go ahead and just kind of insert that over here. It's like the Farm Doc pregnancy pillow. It comes with a cover and it comes with a carrying bag, but the pillow isn't as firm as I would like it to be, so I usually still sleep with an additional pillow behind my back on the one side just to try to give myself more back support, because if my back is in pain throughout the evening, I'm not getting a good night's sleep. I know some of you have been curious about how frequently I have used the Doppler since I got it in week 15. I only used the Doppler weeks 15, 16, and 17, and each time was once a week. It was like every Thursday or Friday I would use it, but since then I haven't actually used it. I haven't felt the need to really use it. I do occasionally get a little bit of anxiety when I wake up certain days and like all of my symptoms have disappeared. I do kind of automatically, like my brain automatically goes into this mode of, oh my gosh, is everything okay? But it's not something that sends me running to my bedroom grabbing the Doppler to go to use it. Also, a lot of you asked about movement, and you continue to ask me about movement. I have felt absolutely no movement whatsoever yet, and I don't necessarily expect to feel movement for probably another 3 weeks or so, probably not until like my 22nd week of pregnancy. And I know that it's completely different for everyone. I know some people feel more of like bubbles, other people feel more of flutters. I have felt absolutely nothing. The only thing that I have had kind of rumbling around in my stomach is gas. But I can honestly say now that I'm at week 19, this is the best I have felt since finding out that I was pregnant. This is literally the longest stretch of time that I have had my energy back, that I have not felt miserable or completely nauseous or exhausted or out of it. Don't get me wrong, I'm still tired, but I don't feel quite like a zombie anymore, which is really nice to have this sudden boost of kind of energy back. Don't get me wrong, it's not every single day, but you know, I'll take the days that I can get, and I'm obviously a lot happier and in a lot better mood on the days where I'm feeling better. Now's the part of the bump date that some of you pretty much live for, and that is a belly shot or a bump shot. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert that right now. I now, on the last day of week 19, finally have what I would consider an actual bump and not just a lot of bloat and fluff. Before, it just kind of was looking kind of like I was just getting chubby. Of course, my face is a little bit more round and a little bit more filled in. That tends to be where you can notice my weight gain initially. But now I feel like I have an actual belly that is forming, and I'm not sure if you guys can see it or not, but I do grow a lot of hair on my stomach. It is very hairy below my belly button, and I probably won't do anything as far as hair removal for that until the summertime, and that is if we're even able to go to a pool this summer. Otherwise, the hair will pretty much just stay put and stay exactly where it is. Another thing I wanted to mention are cravings. I am not having any cravings whatsoever. As I've told you guys, I've had a extreme lack of appetite as it is, so I don't have any cravings whatsoever. Food is kind of like hit or miss for me right now, and it's a little bit repulsive to me in general, and it's more so the idea of eating and how eating makes me feel versus the actual food itself. It's really hard to explain. It's a really strange kind of feeling. I've said multiple times I wish I felt how I feel now during the times where I was previously dieting or trying to lose weight, because that would have made it 10 times easier. But no, you guys, I do not have any cravings or anything like that. So I'm just kind of waiting on that time period where I'm essentially going to turn into a foodie and suddenly want to eat all the time and want very specific things. But part of me is starting to feel like that might not ever happen this pregnancy. And if it does, it does. And if it doesn't, that's perfectly fine too. As far as my weight has been concerned, I have gained about a total of 5 pounds. I'm almost at the halfway point and I've gained 5 pounds, and that's just because throughout pretty much the first 16 weeks I had a lot of vomiting and my weight was fluctuating and going up and down a lot. But now that I can eat more regularly, more consistently, and a little bit more variety, I do seem to be able to maintain my weight at the very least. And I think it's great that I didn't gain an abundance of weight in my first trimester or even in my early second trimester. One thing that I did have to pick up though was Jeremy actually went to the store and picked up Ensure for me, which is like a protein-based beverage. It's kind of like a supplement just for your diet if you don't feel like you're getting enough nutrition or particularly protein. With me eating like a lack of meat, I don't tend to get a lot of protein. I do have a little bit of milk and I have like some beans here and there, but it's nothing that's consistent to where every day I can say I'm getting at a minimum this amount of protein. So I have taken to drinking the Ensures. I try to drink one a day or one every other day. It's not the best tasting, but I figured getting protein in some way is better than no protein at all. And I will say that I only started doing that in week 17, like at the very end of week 17, which is what I think contributed to me starting to feel a little bit better. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that because I know a lot of you were like me and had aversions to meat and couldn't really do it as far as trying to get your protein in. So Ensure is definitely something that seems to be working well for me. So I figured I would just go ahead and share that with you guys. So yeah guys, that's pretty much it for this update. I do have a video coming up for my MFM appointment and my anatomy scan, so that will be up later on this week. But other than that guys, the fam is good. I'm doing good. Baby Rain is doing good. All is well in this pregnancy thus far, and I am just going to continue to pray that it remains that way. So that's it for this video. You guys already know the drill. If you'd like to give us a huge thumbs up, be sure to subscribe to our tribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. Ladies of you who are still TTCing, I am sending you guys plenty of golden sticky baby dust. Also make sure you guys have entered into the TTC giveaway. For all of my pregnant mamas out there, I know it's a struggle right now. Trust and believe, I know it's a struggle right now, but I'm sending prayers out to you guys for your well-being and your mental sanity. And as for everyone else, I hope you're doing well. I hope your family is doing well. I hope you guys are staying safe, and lastly, I hope you all are in good spirits. I'm sending you guys lots of love, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.